Hi, I'm Rob.
And I'm Rob.
And this is Ask Rob and Rob.
Thank you for joining us again on the Ask Rob and Rob podcast. This is episode number 5, getting into the swing of this now. We've got another really interesting question coming up for you today. All the questions are really interesting because they come from you. So this isn't just us talking about whatever we feel like. These are coming directly from you. So hopefully, if you've got a question and it's on your mind, then I'm sure it will be on other people's mind as well. So be the one to step up and submit the question so everyone else can learn.
And to leave us a question, it's as easy as making a phone call. In fact, it is a phone call. So pick up the phone or dial in now, 013 808 00035. 013 808 00035. Normal rates apply, of course. Or if you want to be super tech savvy, you can go on the website, thepropertyhub.net/podcast, and follow the links that way.
Okay, today's question comes from Jane Cooper in Lancashire. Let's have a listen to what Jane has to say.
Hi Rob and Rob, my name's Jane from Lancashire, and I must admit I am a bit of a lurker on the hub, but I do listen to all of the podcasts and I find them really useful, so thank you. I've got a bit of a tricky situation with a tenant at the moment that is in arrears of about £1,200, which is coming up for 2 months' rent. They called me last week to report a broken washing machine now, and I don't quite know what to do. I usually just replace items if they go wrong for the tenants, but given the arrears, I'm unsure if I'm obliged to do this for this particular tenant and what the right thing might be to do. Thanks. Bye.
Jane, that doesn't sound fun. In fact, it sounds awful. So first of all, I feel your pain. It doesn't sound like a fun thing to go through. And, then them asking for your help while they're not paying sounds extra cheeky. But it may be cheeky, but do you have to help by law, whether you want to or not?
Well, the answer to that, unfortunately, is probably yes. It comes down to what's in the tenancy agreement. But if you've supplied a washing machine, and that's part of the agreement that you had with the tenant, then you do have to stick to your side of the bargain, even if they're not sticking to theirs. It doesn't seem fair, but unfortunately, you don't want to be in a situation where they're able to make a complaint against you and make it hard for you to evict them if it gets to the point where you need to do that. So while it's not something that you feel like you should be doing, and you could probably get away with not doing it, it could cause you more problems further down the track if you don't take care of it.
That's right. And it's important to understand that you don't have to let a property with a washing machine, but if you do in the first place, then you'll probably need to go to replace it. So don't think that we're telling you that you need a washing machine in every property. So if you've got properties that without washing machines, you're thinking, oh crap, don't worry. It's only if you let it from the beginning with the washing machine. It's up to you, Jane. You could say, well, I could play it nasty, but even so, if you're going to get a washing machine in there at some point, or get it fixed for the next tenant when you get rid of them, you may as well do it now anyway, because you could go, this is completely up to you, but if you go the nasty route, then they may get even worse. Not that I know what could be much worse than not paying rent, but they could really up the stakes. So if you show goodwill, you never know, it might get them back on side. It probably won't, but if you're going to replace it when they move out anyway, you may as well just get it done. And as Rob says, it saves you any legal hassle further down the line.
And with that in mind, you definitely want to be getting all your communications in writing where possible. So when you've got things that are happening over the phone, then it's very easy for people to claim that things never got done or claim that you weren't being responsive. And that puts you in a tricky situation. And if you do get tenants who want to make your life difficult, that's not necessarily the case here, but that's a way that they can do it. If you insist that all communications take place in writing, so you've got a text message history or email history, then it means that nothing can be misrepresented later on.
Remember, most people think email, but text message will do it as well. If you get an agreement across in text, that's something you can use further down the line as proof. So text, email, whatever it is, but just don't make it a phone call because that probably won't be good enough. But whatever happens, Jane, best of luck to you. Hopefully this advice helps.
So unfortunately, this kind of thing does occasionally go with the territory of being a property investor. It's not part that we like to dwell on, but it is a reality of it. So while we're really upbeat about property, obviously we've been putting out a podcast for free for over 2 years about it, we're not pretending that it's all sunshine and roses all the time. These things will happen, but in the bigger picture, it will all sort itself out. And the bigger picture is what we like to focus on at the Property Hub Summit. While you can't ignore that these things do happen and it does wear you down when you're having aggravation with your tenants, you have to stay focused on the big picture and your strategy and what you're using property for, what you're going through all this for to get you to a certain position at the end. And that's what the summit is all about. It's about getting you through whatever is holding you back at the moment, giving you a vision for that future and a plan so you can go off and execute that vision. If you're interested in joining us at the Property Hub Summit or just finding out a bit more, text the word SUMMIT, SUMMIT, then a space followed by your email address to 88802 and we'll send some more information your way.
If you'd like to find the show notes for this episode or any other episode of Ask Rob and Rob, go to thepropertyhub.net/property advice. On Thursday, we'll be back with the Property Podcast. And of course, next week, we'll be back with another one of your questions. We look forward to that. But until then, bye-bye.
Bye-bye.